Okay, sorry about the interruption. This is part two, part two, part two. So I'm going to back it up a little bit. So you see what's behind me, and I'm sitting at a desk, and the enemy held me back in my mind for many, many years. And not only the enemy, because you know the enemy plays tricks on your mind, but also the enemy can use people, especially those who are close to you, who are friends with you, or your family or your co-workers, you name it, people that you admire and that are close to you. Sometimes the enemy can use them to come against you, even though they may not mean it. You know, they do not recognize, some people do not recognize how the enemy will use them until you point it out. And some would be so guilty and say, I'm sorry. It wasn't my intentions to say that or do that or react like that or not support you. It wasn't my intention to try to slander your name or say something that wasn't true. It wasn't my intention to not attend this program with you, or whatever the case is. Sometimes the enemy will use them. I had to fight in my mind, just like Joyce Meyer say, the battlefield is in the mind. That is a true statement. The battlefield is in your mind. So we have to ask God to renew our mind and wash our mind. And how do we do that? Wash our minds by the word of God. Learn how to open up and just come clean with God. Come clean with God. And come clean with yourself. That's the first thing. Come clean with yourself, because I would pass by a mirror so many times and I would back up and I would tell myself, I don't like myself. I don't like the way I look. For years I beat myself up. I don't like this. I don't like that. I was always finding the negative things about myself. I was always speaking out of my mouth the negative things about myself. So I didn't need nobody else to beat me up, because I was beating myself up enough. Then I will surround myself with negative people, feeding on into what I was already feeding into. And that was causing depression, that was causing anxiety, that was causing thinking just to be stinking and say negative things that come out of my mouth all the time, because it started with me. That seed was already planted. And I had to figure out, when I passed through, and I would back up and I say, I didn't like this and I didn't like that about myself. So I had to figure out, how can I overcome this situation? How can I overcome this problem? How can I love me? How can I accept myself? And I had to surrender myself to God totally. I mean, all the things that I had went through, the hurt, the past pains, the everything in my life I had experienced that was not good. I had to give it to God and not allow the enemy to play in my mind the battlefield. I had to knock those things down that was negative and say, God, okay, fix it. Because every time when I try to fix it, I will give the enemy permission to come back in and play in my mind like a battlefield. It was just a battle and a tuggle. I couldn't even concentrate. I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. My weight was up and down. It was just all kind of things just, coming out my mind, including the thoughts. And I say, oh, nothing good never happens to me. Oh, I tell you what, I bet you this is going to happen to me. It wasn't nothing ever good that would come out of my mouth concerning me, not no one else. It was me that I was beating down. But once I surrendered and gave it to God, I remember in 2014 when I started working in mental health. That was the best feel after leaving the state of Texas for over 15 years. That was the best thing when I started in mental health in 2014, because I learned a lot of things about me, and I learned and picked up the tools that the mental health place provided for the clients. Even though I was working there, but I was a client in general myself, behind the scene client, learning and putting these tools to work, not only for the clients, but for myself as well. And I began slowly to free myself because I went around asking questions. I applied myself on the internet, just started getting thirsty and hungry and searching for more information. And then I started going to school, picking up a little course here and picking up a little course there. Now I am a psychologist. Thank God I made it. See, in your mind, the enemy will say, you'll never be that. You'll never become a teacher. I am here today. I am a teacher. I'm an educator. So the enemy held me back for years, and I allowed him. I gave him permission to hold me back. See, that's what we've been doing. We've been giving him permission. But once we step out the boat, come on, somebody, then we will be able to succeed if we don't look back, if we don't go back, if we don't allow the enemy to continue to play with us like he's on a playground up here in our minds. We have to set our minds free. And I am here to teach you, to walk with you through this journey, because how I know I have lived experience as far as walking through a lot of trauma, walking through a lot of pain, walking through disappointments, walking through headaches, and walking to people you thought that was with you, and they never was for you. Come on, somebody. And when it all come crashing down, they got the glory, they thought, because some people want to see you go down to your lowest of your lowest. Some people get pleasure out of that. But I will be here to walk with you and teach you how to overcome every obstacle in your life, every trial in your life, every situation, and every disappointment. I am here to walk with you, and we're going to walk this journey together, because I've been there and I do feel alone. I used to feel like nobody cared and nobody was there for me, and nobody's not going to listen. Nobody's going to believe my report. And it was so much things that was going through my mind. But I'm here today as a track record, as lived experience, to walk with you. Will you walk with me? I'll walk with you. So let's walk together. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and please share this for someone who may be struggling and in the same situation as you and I are in. Thank you so much. Have a great day.